This week on The Travel Show.
Taking on the tuk-tuks in Sri Lanka.
The best thing about driving a tuk-tuk is you can just take in all the gorgeous scenery.
Climbing for coconuts in Kerala.
This is tough.
And a journey of a lifetime in Pakistan.
It feels quite serious now. I haven't seen Ed. I don't know what condition he's in.
From Greenwich Park in London. Now, while we all keep dreaming of all the travel we're going to be doing when things get back to normal, today we're taking a look back at some of our best trips to South Asia. Now, over the years, we've had plenty of adventures there. And for me, personally, one of the highlights was a trip to the beautiful country of Sri Lanka in 2020. Now, on the streets of its bustling capital city, Colombo, the tuk-tuk is king of the road. And with its numbers jumping eightfold in 15 years, I went there to see what impact it's having on the city and how tourists are now jumping in the driving seat too. So there's actually over 1 million tuk-tuks here in Sri Lanka, and it definitely shows because these things are everywhere. That's a pretty high number for a country of just over 20 million people. The prospect of good money has prompted many young people to become a driver here. And it's not just the pros. Driving a rented tuk-tuk is increasingly popular with tourists too. Tourists need a local driving licence to drive a tuk-tuk here, but also some practice. Okay, this definitely isn't as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. I think I need some assistance. Tushari has been a tuk-tuk driver for 4 years. Female drivers remain a rare sight in Sri Lanka, but times are slowly changing.
So it has to
stay in neutral and whilst I jerk forward.
Oh, yes.
Gotcha.
Horn ගොඩක් horn එක තදින් ගහගෙන හිටියොත් ඒක තරහ. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම දාන එකට. නැත්නම් අපි හායි කියන නම් horn එකකින් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
So the horn is my friend.
Friends,
in
yes.
all cases, yeah, right. So they're your top tips.
Yes, madam.
I think I'm ready for the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, madam.
You can really feel that lack of suspension. And there are so many potholes here. Once you reach that level of comfort with driving, the best thing about driving a tuk-tuk is you can just take in all the gorgeous scenery. And on my left is the beautiful ocean. But the gentle ocean breeze isn't enough to disperse the emissions produced by the millions of vehicles on Sri Lanka's roads. Air pollution in its capital city regularly exceeds the levels recommended by the World Health Organization. 10 years ago, the government banned the import of the most polluting rickshaws, the two-stroke engines, but several hundreds of thousands remain on the roads. So the pollution definitely isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's definitely palpable. In fact, I think I just ate some. All right. As part of the global fight against climate change, Sri Lanka has pledged to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by 2030. Sasiranga de Silva won a UN award for creating a simple kit which converts petrol tuk-tuk engines to electric.
As you can see, Sri Lanka is a beautiful country.
Yes, it is.
But since recently, we've noticed that the emission levels are going high, and so the respiratory diseases, the levels of diseases are going high there. So I thought, as an engineer, I'll try to do my best to, sort of contribute to bring the emissions down in Sri Lanka.
What do you think it's going to take to get your conversion kit up and running, produced on a mass scale?
The cost is quite high, and tuk-tuk is quite a low-cost product, so the conversion price has to be you know, as low as possible for the drivers to afford it. So I've been doing so many research so I can downsize the battery so that will reduce the cost.
Yeah. The issue of affordability will decide whether electric tuk-tuks are ever developed on a mass scale. But who knows, the spirit of innovation and a smattering of political will might be just enough to clear the air in Colombo. Definitely fun, but one thing that I'll be happy to leave to the professionals in the future. And that might also be what Henry was thinking back in 2016 in India's coastal state of Kerala when he got to find out the hard way just what goes into picking coconuts, something which is still done there mostly by hand.
That was unbelievable. You are so strong. That was so quick. How high is this?
30 meters.
And he did it like it was a Sunday stroll,
Yeah,
wasn't
he's doing 30 years, this one. He's 52 years old.
52 years old. So you're pretty much half more my age, so I should be able to do that quicker than you. I doubt that's going to be the case, is it? And so how many coconuts does he usually collect a day?
It's 40 coconuts a day.
All right.
Some homestays in Kerala are now teaching tourists the art of coconut tree climbing. So let's see if I'm up to the challenge.
He's doing well. Good. He's doing well.
I want to hoist myself up, but my arms, they just won't obey.
Straight.
I think I'm going to rip my pants. Oh. This is tough.
The numbers of climbers like Prasannan have fallen dramatically as the younger generation have gradually moved away from manual jobs.
Very strong indeed. I think it's a bit of a marathon. You've got to think of it as a marathon. You've got about 20 good meters to climb. If you run out of strength halfway, it's not going to be pretty. Oh, I think that's it for me. How does he do it? My feet. I tell you, I think it's because I've got soft everything. I'm a wimp. You're much stronger than I am.
The coconut industry is worth billions of dollars, so the decline of manual climbers has called for modernization of sorts.
That looks so much easier than what I was doing.
The state government has tried everything from competitions to prize money to find a machine that could entice people back into the job. This one, invented by a local farmer, has proved relatively simple to operate.
Just right there?
Right.
Okay. Left there and here. Right. By the way up. It's definitely a lot easier.
I may have spoken too soon. It's a lot tougher than it looks.
When you take the body weight, the right one, then left one, you just relax. Yeah, just check it out, please.
You've got a lot less stress on your toes and your hands themselves, but getting this motion right is making me a little bit nervous. So
Release and just you can do. Yeah, that's okay. That's.
Woo! It does make it a little bit easier, I've got to say. But I'd like to put it to the test. The old method versus this new one. What do you think? We can try it? Yes. All right. Over here we have the traditional coconut tree climbers. They're going to be using their ropes that they have around their legs and whatnot. Over on this side we have the mechanically assisted. And we're going to find out who is the fastest. So, 3, 2, 1, go! They're pretty much neck and neck at the moment. Actually, mechanically assisted are going a little bit faster. Actually, he's caught up on the time. He's caught up on the time. There we go, and they're switching. He's got tired. He's doing well though, he's doing well. Yay! Coconuts to the winners! Go the spoils! Yeah. Oh. It's good? How does victory taste, boys?
Henry in southern India back in 2016. Now we're heading to Pakistan, where 2 years ago we heard from two adventurers who had been to the country's mountainous northernmost region to experience this part of the country in a whole new way. And it was quite the journey.
I'm John Ryder. And I'm Edmund Lebrun. And in 2018, we set out to raft down the length of the Hunza Valley in northern Pakistan. And as far as we can tell, nobody's done this before.
The river passes through a really interesting part of Pakistan, right up near the border of China.
It's a very ancient trade corridor that passes north to south, the old Silk Road, combination of mountains, people, history, culture. It's a fascinating place.
The trouble with rafting a river for the first time is that you really have to scout every 100 metres because you really don't know what's around the corner.
There were many moments going down the river where we encountered sections that we knew that we couldn't navigate.
Well, we actually found out that they were too difficult to raft the hard way.
That was quite scary, actually. Once it's upturned, there was nothing for him to catch hold of.
I lost my raft. It just went all the way downriver, sped away.
Being tipped out of the boat.
And the currents were doing really weird things. Okay, I'm gonna go chase it.
So as soon as I set off in John's raft in pursuit of my own, I realised that it was a bad decision. The water was getting rougher, and sure enough, I hit a corner. Losing the second raft. So I managed to swim to the bank and suddenly assess the situation. And there we are, northern Pakistan. We've lost both our rafts, all our bags. I then didn't know where John was.
Okay, this feels quite serious now. I haven't seen Ed for almost 2.5 hours. I don't know what condition he's in. I've just got to the road. What's your name again? Fayazuddin is helping me, but there's no sign of John.
People often assume that, we felt, was there a security concern there? And actually, security was the furthest things from our mind. The key is always doing research before you go, because some areas are incredibly dangerous. And just 5 kilometers away, it's completely safe. So after I'd lost my raft, I didn't find John for 5 hours.
Yeah, very tired John on the other side of the river.
We found the rafts eventually. It took us, I think it was about 4 days in total.
Everyone we spoke to offered to walk up and down the river or offered their car. It was really quite overwhelming, the level of generosity that we received. But what the rafts did give us was this sense of adventure. And through that, we actually uncovered a side to Pakistan which we really never see in the news.
What an experience. Now, still to come on the programme.
Adi tries his hand at conservation in the Maldives. And Rajan tests out his aim in India.
Get out of the way, everyone. Here we go. Wow. Now we're getting there.
Now, back just before the pandemic last year, Adi went to visit the stunning Maldives. Officially the lowest nation on earth, its beautiful beaches are constantly under threat from climate change and the effects from tourism. Adi went there to find out what the local people and some tourists are doing to protect the natural world there.
Coral reefs don't just look great in holiday photos, they also contain more biodiversity than any other ecosystem on the planet. So it's essential that they don't disappear. Even though they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, they are home to over a quarter of all the world's fish species. So here in the Maldives, there's an ongoing program to restock damaged reefs.
So actually coral is an animal. It's
an animal?
Exactly.
Not a plant?
No, actually it's related to jellyfish and anemones in the ocean. So what we see here is a colony. It's many individuals called polyps that they live all together and they help each other to build this skeleton. What we actually do, we pick up some corals that are broken because of any reason and they are on the sand, so they will die because they will cover of sand. So what we will do is just keep this healthy part from the coral and put them back on our nursery. Our nursery is around 5-6 meter depth, and with the sandy bottom, the best method is to use these ropes hanging on metal frames.
Okay, I want to try and attach a piece then, so let's see. I'll put it through here, hold like this, and then fasten it.
Yeah, as much as you can so it will not fall.
I mean, this must just take hours to do.
Well, no, actually the process is quite fast, and
Yeah.
actually we need to do it faster as well because they need to be underwater.
So basically what you're doing here is replicating nature.
Exactly, we just help to make this process faster.
So not Mother Nature, Sandra Nature.
Exactly.
It's heartening to know that tourists are engaging with these conservation projects. And even if I never come back here again, it's good to know I've left a mark, hopefully in a positive way.
Wow, you're looking like a proper action woman, Sandra. You're ready to go?
Yeah, everything is ready now.
Cool. So what are you going to do exactly?
Now I will bring this rope onto the nursery. I will attach it over there, and it's perfect conditions for them to grow properly, so we don't need to do much more.
Cool. And I've noticed it says BBC Travel Show.
Yes, this will be your baby corals, your effort to help the Maldivian reefs.
Let's go for it.
Let's go. See you later.
Yeah, take care. Good luck.
What a beautiful place. Well, finally, we're heading back to India, where in 2017, Rajan went to Shillong in Meghalaya to try his hand at a traditional local sport and see if he could hit the target.
This is called tir, derived from the Hindi word for arrow. A target's mounted and 50 archers have just a few minutes to hit it as many times as possible. The significance of the sport dates back to the early 1800s, when Khasi warriors defended their homelands not with guns or swords, but with bows and arrows.
I'm aiming for the target, obviously, which one of them? The small one. The small one there. Okay. Now, why is it going to the ground like that? Show me. Get out of the way, everyone. Here we go. But no, don't move. Wow. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. Spectators get involved by taking bets on the number of arrows that hit the target. And crucially, it's only the last two numbers of the total score that matter. Meghalaya became one of the few states to legalise gambling in 1982.
People here are very superstitious. They'll dream about their dead family, a dog, a cat, and they'll try to make it into numbers.
So I have 200 rupees of my hard-earned money here. I want to go and gamble. Can you show me how to do it?
Yeah.
Come on then. So let's go to one of these counters.
Thought number in.
Namaste, hello.
Yes, sir.
I want to gamble on a lucky number, yeah? 2 digits, lucky number. I'm going to go for 39.
39?
Yeah. And I'm going to put 100 rupees on 39. Can you fix it so I win? Yeah.
It depends on your fortune now.
Oh, that depends on my fortune. I had a dream last night. I had a dream that a strange dog walked past me, and that dog had the number 39 on it. Is that the kind of dreams people have? Who knows? Wish me luck. It's a tense moment as the numbers are counted.
310, 320. 4.
And my dream turns out to be a shaggy dog story.
7.
97 was the result. Still, 2 of my lucky numbers, 9 and 7.
Rajan in India back in 2017. Well, that's all for this week, but here's what's coming up next week.
Mike's off the coast of Tanzania exploring a coral reef that scientists say could be a game changer for some endangered species.
Underwater was magnificent. It was like a fantasy movie.
Do join us for that if you can, but for now, keep safe and keep inspired by following us in all the usual places on social media. So from me and the rest of the team here in London, it's goodbye.